everyone. This is Criminal Profiler Pat Brown, and this is Dear Profiler Pat, where you send me some questions and ask for my advice, and I give it, and I hope it helps, and I hope it helps the viewers as well. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Check my playlist for the different areas of life I talk about. And if you'd like me to answer your question, please send me an email to profilerpatbrown@gmail.com. And in the subject line, put Dear Profiler Pat. And don't worry, I won't use your name. And sometimes I even change some of the locations. Well, this question is really quite simple. But not only does it apply to this person, but it applies to a lot of the situations that we're in life. And I always love to expand things to everybody and not just one person in one situation. Dear Profiler Pat, I've been dating my boyfriend for a while. I've been divorced, and now I'm in my 50s. But so I get along really great with him, but he doesn't want to get married, and I do. What should I do? Okay, now the details aren't here, but I'm going to add some in. Actually, there are some details, but I didn't want to include them. So I'm going to make some up for you in different situations, which I find people end up in when they're in a relationship where you're both not in agreement with where you're headed. And marriage is one of them. Somebody wants to get married, the other person does not. Now, there can be many reasons why people have two different views on that. One is one person thinks it's not necessary. The other person thinks it is necessary. If you're young and you're dating in your 20s and 30s, and you're like, okay, I want to get married because I want to have a person who's committed to me and that we're going to go ahead and have our family and we're going to buy a house and have family and we're going to grow old together. That might be your reasoning. And as a matter of fact, when I was dating my husband, who is now an ex after 25 years, but when I was dating him many years ago, like almost 50 now. Anyway, I was dating him and I said to him, we have 1 year. After 1 year, if you're not interested in marrying me, if you're not ready to go that route, he was quite young. He was 19 when I met him. I said, if you're not ready to go there, we'll just go our separate ways. Why did I say that? Because I was 23 at the time. I wanted to find the right person who wanted to get married, who wanted to have a family and have a lifetime together. And I wasn't willing to have some guy keep postponing it over and over and over again. Okay, I'm only 19. Oh, think about it when I'm 25 and you're near 30. No, I'm not going to play around for 10 years while you decide if this is something you're interested in. If you're not interested in it, and I am, we are not headed in the same direction. That doesn't mean you're a bad guy. Doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It just means that we are on two different roads at this point in time. Now, maybe we could meet up again when we're both in our 30s, for example, and he could say, well, I'm ready now. And I could say, me too. And we could get back together again and we could go off and to the sunset. Or he could say, I'm ready now. And I'm like, I'm done. I've already found somebody else. Sorry, But the point being that if you meet somebody and you're in a relationship and the two of you aren't on the same road, then you're not compatible and you shouldn't be together. It doesn't mean you're bad people. It just means you're not in the same place. Let's say you meet somebody, and let's say this 50-year-old guy, so I'm not going to get into all the details of the email, but this particular person isn't ready to settle down. You're like, okay, but you're in your 50s. You've already been married. You had a couple kids. Everybody's grown. Why don't you want to settle down with me? Well, maybe it's because he likes his freedom. Maybe it's because he wants to have other women. Maybe even tells you that, hey, I don't want to get in a relationship where I have to absolutely commit. I don't want you to be the last woman I sleep with for the rest of my life. Kind of like to enjoy some of the, available, treats out there. Now, is he a bad guy? Well, depending on perhaps your morals, your ethics, your religion, he could be to you. But in reality, if he's telling you that, I don't want to get married because I don't want to tie myself down. I'm happy to be your boyfriend. I'm happy to see you a lot, but I'm not really ready or wanting to say you're going to be my one and only forever. Now, where are you? If the guy says that to you, where are you at? Well, I'm going to tell you, person who wrote to me, you have to decide whether that is enough for you. If they're making it clear to you, this is who they are and this is what they want. You could say, you know, I haven't found anybody I've enjoyed being with for the last 20 freaking years. And I really enjoy your company. And you're not bad in bed. So, all right. I'm gonna say I accept that you never want to be tied down, and you might be finding something else. You know, you're visiting a few other flowers. And I'm willing to say, I just want to have a good time. I'm happy to have company. I'm happy to have good sex. I just want to have a good time. I can give up the concept that I need to be like married. I need to have the one and only. I need to have a boyfriend who's committed to me, a man, and my husband doesn't cheat on me. If I'm willing to go with that, if I'm willing to say, look, you're who you are. So I'm going to enjoy who you are because I'm still having a good time. If you can live with that and not be all jealous because he doesn't call you that weekend, because you think, is he sleeping with somebody else this weekend? If that doesn't bother you, then maybe you're going to get something out of the relationship you can actually enjoy. You'll have to decide if that works for you. But on the other hand, if you try to convince yourself that this is okay with you, okay, so rather not being totally alone, I'm willing to look the other way, but then it starts hurting the hell out of you. No, this is not the person for you. You two need to go separate ways. You just need to. I had an experience in recent years where I've known a fellow for 10 years. And I knew him. His wife had passed away. And we spent more time together after his wife passed away, obviously, because his wife had passed away and he was no longer in a relationship. We'd known each other as friends only. And then I thought, hey, this might be something. He thought this might be something. But the problem was his idea of what might be something and my idea of what might be something were two different things. Now, interesting enough, neither one of us wanted to get married. I have no desire necessarily, unless I meet this guy that I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me. I wasn't really worried about marrying. I have my money. He has his money. I'm good. I'm good with who I am. My problem came down to this. He lived at a distance and he wanted me to be available when he felt like it. Now, I'm not saying he was not necessarily with other women or anything. It's just that he was kind of a person who could do okay by himself. He had a house that was 3.5 hours away. He enjoyed his little where he lived, and once in a while he'd call me up and say, "Hey, why don't we have a virtual dinner?" And we would do that. It was so much fun. And then he'd come into town. He just did recently, by the way, and we spent a whole day together. I stayed over at his house on his couch, by the way, because we're not in a romantic relationship, because I put the nix on that. I said, look, I'm not okay with booty calls. You know what I mean? I'm not okay with a romantic relationship. It's just occasional. We're either going to be friends or we're going to be boyfriend, girlfriend. And he wasn't really into the boyfriend, girlfriend thing so much as he enjoyed his life. He was okay living by himself and coming into town and seeing me when he was here. And so I said to him, no, we can't be in a relationship, but we can still be very good friends. And so last time he was here, we went out, we had a whole day together. We had a great time. I slept on his couch, got up in the morning. We went back. We were spending a 2-day thing together. And then we had a wonderful time because we have now accepted that we are not on the same path. If I want a boyfriend, I want a real boyfriend. I want somebody I can text with all the time, who's somewhat nearby so we can get together a lot, that we could, not somebody who comes and goes in my life in a month, disappear. He's gone for a month and then he rolls back in. I'm not okay with that. As a friend, absolutely. As a boyfriend, not okay. Was he disappointed? Yes, because he thought this could work out for him, but I wasn't thinking it would work out for me. So I just said to him, look, we can be good friends. We cannot be boyfriend, girlfriend. So as a friend, you can contact me anytime. We'll have a great time together. But no, we're not really in a relationship, because that kind of relationship, because you're not committed enough for me. And I don't want to get married. I don't want to necessarily live with you, but you're still not committed enough for me. So each person has a different idea of what they want on that path. They want 100% commitment. They want a marriage. They want a wedding. They want to live together. They want everything that. And other people are like, I'm okay if we live in two separate houses, but I want to be boyfriend, girlfriend. I want us to live nearby so we can have a good time. Other people are okay if the person lives in another town or another city, and they're like, hey, we come back and forth, we have a great time. Hey, I'm not here to say your relationship, whatever relationship you want is fine. The problem is you have to agree on the relationship. You have to say, for both of you, it works. And if it doesn't work for both of you, you need to go separate ways, because otherwise you're wasting your dang time. If you're in your 20s and you want to get married, and this person's going to dick you around for the next 15 years, and now you're 35 and you still haven't found, now it's not working out, and now you're trying to find somebody quickly so you can have babies, and you want to have that family thing, and you've just wasted 15 years of your life. No. I told my ex-husband when we met, you got 1 year. And if after 1 year you're not ready for marriage, I'm out of here. And when 1 year hit, he said, let's get married. And we did. We were married for 25 years. We went ahead, we got married, we got a house, we got children. And unfortunately, we did end up divorced after 25 years. But I got what I wanted. And I think he wanted that too. He loved being married and having a home and a family, and all of that worked out well for both of us, because at that point in time, we both decided we were going the same direction. But if you two are going two separate directions, it's never going to work. So you have to be honest with yourself and honest with the person you're hanging out with and say, what is it you want? And what is it I want? And if we want two different things, we're not bad people. We just want two different things, and we should go our separate ways, because neither one of us is going to be happy if we're trying to force the other one into a relationship that they don't want. Anyway, those are my thoughts on that. You've been in that relationship. You haven't been in that relationship. You got away from that relationship. Put your comments below. I'll be happy to hear them and see what you've been through. All right. See you next time. Do like and subscribe to the channel. Bye.